The United States may be preparing for one of the most dangerous escalations in the Middle East in years. Behind closed doors, the Pentagon is reportedly developing plans for ground operations inside Iran. Not an invasion, but something far more precise and potentially just as dangerous. The question is, are we on the brink of a wider war? Tensions between the United States and Iran have been rising rapidly, with attacks, counterattacks, and growing instability across the region. Now, according to reports attributed to the Washington Post, the Pentagon is preparing military options that could include ground forces. Officials emphasize these are contingency plans, not final decisions. But history shows plans like these are never made lightly. The reported strategy does not involve a full-scale invasion. Instead, it focuses on targeted ground operations carried out by a combination of special operations forces, conventional infantry units. These missions would likely be fast, highly coordinated, focused on specific military objectives, and they could last weeks or longer. Among the potential targets being discussed, Kharg Island, Iran's most important oil export hub, and areas near the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping choke points in the world. Roughly 20% of global oil passes through this narrow corridor. Any disruption here could send shockwaves through the global economy. Strategic islands stretching along Iran's southern coast, the islands of Geshem, Kish, and Lark watch over the eastern gateway to the Strait of Hormuz. Geshem dominates the shoreline, Lark guards the approach, and Kish, modern, civilian, and economically focused, rests just beyond the shipping lanes. Farther out lie Abu Musa, Hormuz, and the Greater and Lesser Toranj, smaller islands whose positions carry outsized strategic significance. Here, tourism and trade coexist with a geography that has placed these islands at the crossroads of global energy and power. Kharg Island is not just a dot in the Persian Gulf. This narrow strip of land carries the weight of an entire nation. Before conflict and military strategy dominate the headlines, it's important to understand what's at stake. Kish Island, often called the Maldives of Iran, is a stunning resort island in the Persian Gulf, known for its crystal-clear, turquoise blue waters and pristine coastline. The island attracts millions of visitors each year, drawn to its calm, shallow seas, where the water is so clear it feels like a natural aquarium. Tourists come here for jet skiing, parasailing, scuba diving, and beachside relaxation, while others explore luxury shopping centers and seaside promenades. One of its most iconic landmarks is the Toranj Marine Hotel, a five-star resort built directly over the water. Its wooden villas stretch out into the Persian Gulf, connected by docks with glass floors that allow guests to look straight down into the sea below, like staying above a living aquarium. Inspired by the overwater bungalows of the Maldives, it's one of the most unique hotels in the Middle East, offering panoramic ocean views, private terraces, and direct access to the tranquil waters. Kish Island is not just a tourist destination, it's a symbol of calm, beauty, and economic activity in the region, and any escalation in this area could put all of that at risk. Roughly 25 kilometers, about 15 miles, off Iran's southern coast, near the city of Bushehr, Kharg sits in the shadow of Iran's only nuclear power plant, small in size but enormous in consequence. Nearly 90% of Iran's crude oil exports flow through Kharg Island. Oil arrives from fields scattered across the country through an intricate web of pipelines, each one converging here, at this single point. From this island, crude oil is pumped into massive tankers waiting offshore. The waters surrounding Kharg are deep enough to accommodate some of the largest ships on the planet. This is how Iran connects to the world. Once loaded, these vessels depart southward, heading for global markets. Their route takes them through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically sensitive maritime choke points on Earth, less than 500 kilometers away. An estimated 7 million barrels of oil pass through Kharg Island every day. Much of it travels east, to China and to India, fueling not only foreign economies, but Iran's own survival. This is not just trade. It is regime funding. It is military financing. It is power projection. The Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, the political system itself, all depend, in one way or another, on the uninterrupted flow of oil from this island. Kharg Island is leverage, and leverage creates temptation. Control Kharg Island, and Iran's energy exports could be disrupted at the source. The economic consequences would be immediate, severe, potentially destabilizing. Some American political leaders have claimed that Kharg Island could be seized with relative ease. But geography is only part of the story. Maps don't show air defenses. They don't show hardened facilities. They don't show the men watching radar screens, waiting. Kharg Island is fortified, it is monitored, and it does not exist in isolation. Any attempt to seize it would almost certainly require American boots on Iranian soil, placing U.S. forces within direct reach of Iranian firepower in one of the most volatile regions on Earth. And once that threshold is crossed, there are no clean exits, no limited engagements, no guaranteed containment. But these operations would come with serious risks. U.S. forces could face Iranian drones, missile strikes, coastal defenses, guerrilla-style attacks, even limited raids, could quickly escalate into a broader conflict. Military experts warn that areas like Kharg Island are heavily defended, making any operation high risk from the start. Publicly, Donald Trump has denied any plans to deploy ground troops, stating, "I'm not putting troops anywhere." Meanwhile, the White House, through Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, has emphasized that planning does not equal action. And Marco Rubio has suggested the U.S. can achieve its goals without a prolonged war. Back home, public opinion appears cautious. Many Americans remain deeply skeptical of another military escalation in the Middle East, especially one that could involve ground troops. The memory of past conflicts still weighs heavily. So where does this leave us? The Pentagon is preparing. The president has not decided. The region is on edge, and the world is watching closely. The real question is, should the U.S. take this step, or would it risk triggering something far bigger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.